Turn this up. Okay. How do you do this, son of man? Two witnesses. Tell you straight up. The perfect day, Epiphany, who the light that never fails well. I'm going to tell you about what the cross means. You could take that for what it is after who I just told you I am. You know, walk away. Anyways, yeah. There's two witnesses right here in front of you. Do you see it? It's the cross. It's the two olive trees. Look at it. It's the flower of life. It's energy. It's a circle. It's the four. It's the four spirits of God. Do you see the four? The four circles? The four infinity spirals? The golden ratios? And sets of twos and fours. And the way it would spiral, if it was a cross, it would spiral right back, right into Jesus' heart. And the Yeshua Mashiach's heart. You know, Jesus Christos' heart. You know, or to his mind as well. It's a swirl, so it hits more than one location. And his hands and his feet are poles on a magnetic torus, or just poles. You know, like how you have on your electronics, you have on your batteries, you have a north and south pole on it. That's why you see all these videos with magnets creating free energy, but it's already stored in there, but it's technically kind of like amplified, if you ask me, because of how long it lasts. And you can use it to amplify other type of things. This kind of energy could be harnessed and amplified upon itself. But anyways, that's what this is all about. It's about amplification. That's why there's the two. And I remember in this one time traveler thing with Al Buelik or something like that, he said like the other time line is like this other time dimension. It's the scalar one, I think, where it's on 90 degrees. Each one of these four, forever four, the four spirits of God, like the four cherubim surrounding, Yeshua Mashiach in the Revelation. And they surround the fifth. You see how these four surround the fifth in the middle. And that's the circle of life. That's why the earth's shaped like a circle. It probably has more than one shape as well, in more and more complex forms. And then that's why we have the golden rectangle, the golden arc. You see? And it had the two cherubim, the two olive trees, you see? And then later on, it's the four cherubim. You see the four and the two? It's not complicated. I'm going to show you a lot more of it, but this one kind of gets it all out of the way in one thing. And then even the ark itself, like Noah's Ark, it's basically, if you look at the dimension of it, it's basically shaped like a rectangle. And then the triangles get in there as well. Let me show you that. You see? The triangles make a circle. They're always like away from each other. That's why you had the seven spirits of God. You see, it takes 3 sets of 2, basically 6, like the 6 days, to make this circle, like in the bottom left here. And that's where the hexagon and all that gets in there, and the Star of David. That's why everybody that's in the woke ass community, even the evil ones, use these symbols everywhere you look. It's my power. I'm the one who created it. I don't care what nobody says. I'm the one who's doing it, shaking the earth and the heavens. I don't really care. It's a whole nother story. I could break it down, but that's not the point of this story. I'm going to tell you what the cross is. You already have a brief kind of like, you have a basic understanding of this type of stuff. So this is better for me to work with you. And then look at that thing in the top right. That's basically a cell. That's all it is. Multi-cell, single-cell organisms, and multi-cell ones are more effective. And then this is a tesseract. They already know what it is. They keep the symbols around them because it attracts that energy. That's why when you put a cross on you, you feel more protected. You feel the energy. It helps the energy flow and harmonizes it, and it gives you a circle of protection. That's why the so-called witches and people that are in nature and stuff use circles and stuff to protect themselves. God also used a circle to divide the light from the dark. It's got to do with the heavens and all that. I'm going to get more into that later. I'll probably have to make another part getting really deep into that, but I'll give you some of the basics in here so you can get your taste going or whatever, your metabolism going. Because this really all comes down to metabolism, really. Really. It comes down to heat. What is energy? It's all energy. You want me to prove it to you? All right. Why do you fight off viruses with a fever? You're upping your temperature. You're upping your temperature because the virus can't survive the temperature. That's why they don't want you to have free energy. That's why they want you to catch a cold. Why people get sick in the cold, because it's robbing you of your energy, your warmth. That's why the sun, which is the opening of heaven according to the book of Enoch, when you already know what the light of heaven is. That's Jesus Christ shining from another dimension. That's what they say in science, a projector of energy from a different dimension. I would know since I did it. I created it all. Just went looking for the evidence in the book. It wasn't hard when God already put it there for me. Basically, this is the manifestation of what's from the non-manifest, what they call the void, Big Bang type thing. There's the possibility of existence. There's a command prompt, the word. The man was to become God. He became God and was back towards God and ever towards with. That's what towards with means. So he's God and with God. But I'll have to show you the actual little words so you can see it. Like the whole command prompt, every time he changes, it shows the whole story. And it goes down to the actual little words and the letters of the beginning of Genesis and all that, and John. And it really breaks down everything. It's just the letters. And the Hebrew words, I already had this on my other page. They took my other page down. That was my years to two witnesses. I finished that. They took my page down. Back up doing it this way. And when it's meant to, I come out with something very important. This is probably the most important thing you'll ever learn if you really grasp this. It's all about energy. It's all about like The Shining. And in the most recent Shining movie, they showed you what it's really about. Even had a little colored chick in there, like representing the Hebrews and all that kind of stuff. And basically, like the guy would drink to try and hide his power, to keep it from getting too much attention, because then his power is shine. His power. Like this kind of stuff is light, is energy. Liquor slows that down. But it can kind of help it if you use it properly, but that's only like wine and stuff like that. That's why liquor, Jesus would turn water into wine. He's giving it some punch, but water is very useful as well. And then, it's red like his blood and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, let me move on. It's all about energy, man. It's like all about energy. Like even the moon, it's of the night. It sucks the energy out of you. It's cold. The sun is hydrogen, it's light, it's energy, it's hydrogen. You know the how they figure out if something is alkaline? They go by how much hydrogen it has. Hydrogen is it. Hydrogen is lighter than helium. Helium is lighter than air. I've already ascended earlier in my life. That's why I saw, and I know from previous experience, once I see something in a dream, and I do it in a dream, and it kind of sticks with me. Like it really is what my future is. It's like nothing they could do about it, kind of thing. But really, I noticed that it shouldn't be something I should take for granted. I should continue to strive for it. But anyways, I saw myself basically shooting up, and like I turned, like before that happened, like I was on the earth and I was like with some chick or whatever. It was in the woods or whatever, doing something. And like out of nowhere, my body changed and I could feel it. And I yelled out to her not to come over to me. And in my body, because I figured something would happen to her too, and told her not to do whatever I had done that triggered it. Somehow I knew what it was in the dream. I don't remember it now, it was kind of vague. And then basically, because I thought it was something bad, maybe it was, who knows. But I basically turned into atomic form. I could see like I was blue. My body was all blue and it was atomic. Like, like it's not really full, but it looked like almost like fire, but like not really fire. And it's like when you ever see those pictures of those people that are just energy. And that's probably why they had like Krishna and all them like blue and stuff like that. Maybe they knew about frequency or something, but either that or they had dreams and stuff like that. Either that or they've actually, just like I had. And, it was something, there's a million ways it could happen. Like a million ways they could have run into a ascended being since they were like on the same frequency as it. And like people that are on these higher frequencies, it's like psychosis. Like they're all having psychosis, but these people always see angels and demons. It's the same thing over and over again. That's science. That's verifiable. They're all saying the same thing. And then at the same time, they can predict the future. And then the same thing happens to meditators. They get this type of psychosis. And then mushrooms, which and all LSD was supposed to be a stimulant, which is just upping your frequency, upping your brain waves, and then they started to see things that people couldn't see it because they're not on a high enough frequency to. They want people to be asleep instead of their eyes open. And the few people that are opening their eyes have to brunt all the bear of this. That's why it's hard. And that's why the guy in The Shining like went down. He didn't want to have to deal with all these dead souls that are rebelling against the living and all that. And God is the God of the living, not the dead. The God of the energy. Do you see that light up there in the heaven? Like I said, that's energy. Hydrogen is all that energy. And when you get your alkaline nature in your body, what happens to your gut? You see? Your metabolism skyrockets. And it works really good. It keeps your immune system really good. And the bad stuff can't live in there. It's a battle within as well as without. But it's all within you. Don't you know the Matrix movie is within your mind? You can shape how you form your reality. They don't want you to do that, though. And it's scary to step into that. And it's not something for people that are not with good morals because they'll do evil with it. And that's why I don't teach certain things about it anymore. And but nothing wrong with being healthy and having high energy and living your life dreams. I notice it helps people's morality, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, it's all about energy, like metabolism. Like when people, like monks, when they put them in really cold weather, because their energy is so high, they can basically up their temperature and not be frozen to death. The energy is in the form of heat. There's other types of energy that that I believe create heat, but not directly where you're starting it. Because I'm starting a power right here, and it's ending up over in the Pacific a lot. Over in the Pacific Rim. That place is like a magnet for fucking the power of God for some fucking reason. Because every time I do anything, it just affects that area. I already shown that this is extra object following Venus, totally attached to it. And Venus is like this phoenix now. I already understand why it's fiery. And Phoenix used to scare the shit out of me when I used to see it and stuff. And then the fire tree, I saw that thing. It was fucking on fire. I didn't realize it was a huge compliment. I set these guys on fire, and that's why it didn't kill me. I was like, but this other thing came, like the darkness creature came. And, like, I fucking punished it, man. It's like this little fucking, like, goblin thing that came, I think, or something like that. Because it seems like, the darkness is just kind of, like being exposed, and they'll just try it, that's what they do. That's why when people do these drugs, they'll pop up in their drugs experience. They don't want people to, they want to interfere with it. They want to try and shape their formation just like they do here from birth. You know what I mean? Like they want to shape what the person thinks about the next reality and when they go there. But they always run into the fairies, the elves, and all that kind of stuff, which I've been telling you is all real. That's the magical beast creatures that are mixed in with a lot of people. That's why a lot of people part monkey and stuff like that. But I'm not going to hurt no one's feelings and talk about that right now. But yeah, there's a lot of people that have magical beast powers. Like, I mean, it sounds crazy, but I'll put it. That's why they have a hard time catching Sasquatches and stuff like that on camera. But I've seen some footage of them, and they do just like in the movies. They reshape the woods and stuff around them. And I don't know if they can shape everything around them. I'm pretty sure they can, because I've had them move things around in my life all the time, trying to make my life a little hell, And that's just how it is, You got so it's a light, You're gonna be a magnet to the other guys, like to the other end of the spectrum. So they're gonna come to you like the darkness, the light of the darkness, which is the moon, seals all the cold, all the heat, all the energy from the sun. It's like this yin and yang thing going on. I don't really think the darkness really needs to exist, but apparently, God creates light and darkness. I don't know. Who knows? I'm pretty sure that this darkness stuff really can't have nothing to do with the light of God, based on what I know. Jesus is like, he's the God of the living, not the dead. These creatures, they're like a virus. That's why Prince William, the Prince of Britain, wanted to be a virus when he comes back. Because, and this is the moon right here, by the way. You see this? The crescents. But and that's why they got Pac-Man. It's like eating its own tail. It's a snake eating its own tail. It's also, this is also the snake right here. Let me show you. Well, that's not the snake, but that thing. This the spiraling snake. You see? It's kind of like the what is that constellation? What is it? Draco. But right over top of Draco is the one that says the constellation Cephas or something like that. You gotta check out the story called Sting of the Scorpion by Jonathan Gray. Tells the whole story of God. I saw it. I started as constellation Booties or Boots, and I basically just sprung through everything. Started as the Reaper, which is a very good position apparently to start as, because you're like just like able to just reap shit. It's pretty powerful. And it's basically the two witnesses, the two guys with the sharp sickles on top of the clouds that are like the Son of Man, because they are the Son of Man, that appear right after the two witnesses die. But nobody seems to catch that except me, of course, because I'm the only one who knows. Obviously, I'm me. And that's why they shake the earth, and they're in the place of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's Sodom and Egypt. That's America now. Live right next to Sodom and Egypt, D.C. It's really bad over here, like as far as like certain people's mentality. They're very easily manipulated by the bullshit, the gang stalking and all that bullshit, And some of them are fakes, and most of the gang stalking is being done by UFOs. Some of them man-made, some of them demonic, just being camouflaged by man-made technology. And then they basically, they just spy on us all day using all kinds of advanced technologies and stuff, and illegal technologies and invasive ones that are just inhumane. And then, they just try and keep us from shining too much. Because if we shine too much, if we do whatever is good for our health, that's all you got to do. What's good for your metabolism? Um, you got to diet well, eat alkaline foods. Really, all you got to do, alkaline foods that are not processed. Avoid sugars that are not natural as much as you can. And minimize sugar. Get most of your energy from fats and, good sugars like fruit. Fruit is like, you don't need meat really, like except for fat and stuff like that, but you could probably get it in other ways or whatever. But for the most part, like, you're supposed to be a fruitarian. That's why we're in the garden. We're eating fruits. Our bodies are made for fruit. Like, we don't really have two intestines to process or such a high burning intestine like a cow does for vegetables. Vegetables are really just used to clean us out for fiber to fire up our metabolism and stuff. That's where they come in handy. Stuff like that, and some vitamins and stuff. But mostly for fruit, because we get amino acids out of it. And why waste energy and create acid and stress in your body, breaking down protein, which is going to make you hungry again, and wasting stuff, which is going to bring your energy down and keep it down as much as they want, as opposed to getting fruit, which is already broken down to amino acid. And it has minerals and stuff that alkalize the sugar. So you can actually get a safe version of sugar, as long as you don't overdo it, That's why I call it juice. Real juice, not this fake shit they put on your shelves now with high fructose corn syrup, and it doesn't even make you take a crap. You go eat that fucking real shit, that like one of them like $7 ones, like with like a 70 fruit, cherries in it and all this other shit in it. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I can't remember it off the top of my head. Nature something or whatever, or Broth House something like that. And them just make me use the bathroom every time they clean me out, man. And it's really deep. There's a lot more to the diet. You need to check out my Matrix video. It'll show you like these actual stomach demons, these unclean spirits, like we call them parasites nowadays. They want to just label it and make you not afraid of it, even though people have these things living in their brains sometimes, and it's very bad. And then like they don't even like clean your body of worms. Like this guy had to go, this bodybuilder, to go to another country because he's eating beef. Beef stays in your belly for 5 days instead of just 5 hours with chicken or 3 hours with turkey. Which caused the worms that were previously frozen, but not dead. That's why they cook it hot to try and kill these parasites. They can survive cold. That's why you get so many sicknesses in the cold, because it drains the person's defenses, their energy, their heat, and then hits them with the pathogen that's easier, more going through the cold air and stuff, as opposed to the hot, which would, burn it up and stuff. It wouldn't survive. Not even 1/10 as long. Just like these chemtrails. But that's a whole nother story, man. I don't even want to get into that. It's like this hologram technology that basically can't last 1/10 as long in sunlight. Light. Energy. As opposed to darkness. And I know that's why they're blocking the sun right now. It's because they don't want that energy coming down here and keeping people living longer. Destroying all these diseases that are popping up and spreading like crazy. You see this? This all makes sense if you pay attention to what I teach you. It's all logical if you know the real science. I apparently have pretty much most of this figured out. It's like all about energy. It's all about energy. Why we had that explosion on Mars and the other planet or something, wherever the fuck it was, transited near it and discharged upon it. One had a more higher energy discharge that went to the lower one, which means that comet, it wasn't a planet, but it was like basically a planet. It was so fucking massive. So many of these are on, I guess, on that other trajectory, that 90-degree trajectory, or whatever the other trajectories are, And I had near-death experience, and I saw that's how the Earth works. It spirals, it spins, and goes upward. Well, it would be upside down. Like, because the bottom of this picture is really what the surface is like. It's it's flat on the surface, but it spirals downward. Most of the mass is below us, and that's why we got gravity mass pulling us downward like that. It's really just that. And then you really are underground beings. That's why Jade Helm was held over top of all the underground caverns of America, because they was just practicing in case uh, you know Mighty Joe Young and company and Tarzan and fucking Georgia the Jungle and all them cavemen motherfuckers come out of nowhere, man. Like in Sasquatch and the Abominable Snowman and the Dog Man and all that kind of shit comes out because they just want to fucking do that or whatever. That's why, like, these magical beasts called the satyrs, like another one, the half goat, half man, one that most people call, that's what they call them in the devil is in the Bible. There's a lot of story I gotta tell you about that one too. Like I might as well just tell you real quick. It's got to do with masturbation. Like a lot of the stuff in the Bible about them sacrificing their children to idols is masturbation. Like you wouldn't even believe me. Like it's just like an actual sacrifice, but it's really bad. But they'd even put it in the ocean and shit. It's got to do with Egyptian stuff. But it's really just it's stuff, and it's just really sick. I'd have to talk to you a little bit more about it later. I have to give you some good information on it, but it was all throughout Rome and all that kind of thing. These satyrs, they had pictures and carvings in them. Like that's why you look in all the caves, these carvings. That's what they did. They did carvings and stuff like that, and you always, that's what they did. It was always the same guys, like all over the place. That's where they lived. And I believe a lot of these fallen angels, like when they fall, they go hide in the caves because it's just like the mark of Cain. Nobody would accept them. They would kill. They would recognize something wrong with their energy and kill. But nowadays, people are all fucked up. They don't even know when people's energy real fucked up and who got the mark or whatever. Anyway, so let me see. Basically, the mark of Cain was incest. If you look at the book of Enoch, this is why they didn't want it in the Bible. If you pay attention to it, basically Eve leaves with Cain after he kills Abel, and that's how he's able to procreate. And if you pay attention to the chronology, she stays there for a while, and then they have bulls like themselves because they're both black bulls. Him and because he opened the womb, so he ended up more like her than his dad. And she was evil, so they was like an evil little incest twin. And it's got to do with Cain and all them, and they had privy members like horses. We already know the Cain people had that, and they do a lot of incest. That's why you wouldn't even know it. Like they have most hermaphrodites on any country because they just did a lot of that there. What also happens in royals and like a lot in Egypt probably cause them to lose their pigmentation. There's also fucking animals and stuff. Magical beasts and all that kind of stuff's probably taking them, but all kinds of stuff, like you'll even hear it today, like someone gets taken off into the woods with dogs or something, and then they come back, and it's crazy. Like, and then people that will come back with actual like legs that are like spider legs and shit, like bent the wrong way. It's really already happened. Like they just found a fucking fish with a face of a man. Somebody fucked the goddamn fish. I've already seen mermaids as well and shit like too. Like this isn't a fucking real news channel. Like not no fake shit. Like people gotta wake up. This shit is realer than the motherfucker. So much I could tell you. Like, but I have to it's like where do I begin? I don't got no real views anyway, so I don't want to make this too long. But that's it's all related. It's all about energy. So yeah, get your energy up, man. It's all got to do with Fibonacci swirl. That's why it's got to do with the mustard seed that it grew to not the mustard seed, but it's actually related to that too. But it's related to how the kingdom of heaven was considered similar to basically, I guess it was a mustard seed or whatever, but it started out small and then ended up the greatest or whatever. Yeah, I think it was a mustard seed. But anyways, yeah, that's basically how it works. Started out real small, ended up real big. That's how it works. It's a little infinity swirl thing. And that's how it works. Like I've been telling y'all, that's the outpouring spirit that's causing the energy to build up in the Pacific for whatever reason. I believe that the shape of the Earth is not like they say, you already know, and the orbit of the sun over top of us is not exactly as people think either, because we're not going to be in a perfect circle. It's going to be something a little different. Like as far as like the continents, I think they more like are not perfectly in the circle. Like okay, I'm gonna give you an example. It's a pie. We're on a pie, and then the center is the North Pole. That's south's the South Pole, right? So, and this also shows how the poles are energy. The North Pole has some penguins, not penguins, but these little guys that go under or whatever. And the South Pole has more energy, apparently, I think. I just really do. It's kind of like a long story, though, like they can explain it. But I believe it does, because I believe that's where time, like the spirit realm, really exists and all that kind of stuff. And time doesn't exist. It's the spacelessness. We're in time, in space. The spaceless timelessness there, the void, the non-existence. They don't want nobody going there. And the scary shit goes on there, the chaos and all that kind of stuff. And but there's also stars there and all this kind of stuff. But it's crazy as fuck, bro. It's like, oh my god, like you wouldn't even believe what's going on this planet right now. Like they're creating stars for whatever the fuck reason, just to act like they're powerful, or whatever. And they're not even benefiting from directly, because they're not creating the stars themselves. The technology is, so it's creating some kind of AI entity, because all that energy is going to end up becoming conscious. Energy is consciousness. If you lose consciousness, it's because your energy has been shut down. That's all it is. That's why a dead person is cold as stiff, and a living person is warm. Like a little kid is warmer. Like people lose body temperature as they get older. You see, it's just energy, bro. It's just heat. And like I said, that monk, when he's sitting there cold, he's not affected, and they put the cold rag on him, he just dries that thing up. He makes it steam, and it dries it up. We do this naturally too when we get we're outside working out and it's cold. Your head will be steaming, and but yeah, these guys got, they know how to take care of that and get their energy going. And meditation is one of the ways, because consciousness is energy. They're focusing their consciousness. They're intentionally doing things. All consciousness is just your intention. That's why they want to destroy your consciousness. It's a war against your consciousness. I'm not going to tell you too much about its location, but it's really just your intention. Work on it. You know what I mean? I'll say this: the Hindus were not too far away with their little bead where they had it on the forehead. It wasn't too far away. Third eye is involved as well. You already know. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't want to give away too much, because I already know they probably gonna just sit there and take this shit and learn it for themselves and keep y'all from seeing it. That's what they like to do. And then they'll make a movie about it, like The Shining, and all this other stuff is based around what I've been doing. I mean, not the old Shining, but the new one. And the Terminator was based around me when I was born. It's a Halley's Comet when I was born, 84, 85. And, man, it's just crazy, because I was 33, and the whole deliverance thing in 2019 is supposed to happen, and all that stuff. Just turned 34. But it really, the 400 years is about Brazil. That's where most of the Hebrews are. Y'all just so fucking self-centered. You don't even realize they're more Hebrew than y'all. Like, y'all got whitewashed, and the other side of the checkerboard washed for your genetic material and your energy, because they've been incesting themselves into oblivion. And someone was just coming from caves and mixed in, and trying to make themselves a spot here and act like they're the natural people when they were never here. That's why they can't handle the sun. They get burnt by it and all this kind of stuff. But, Anybody can make it to the kingdom of God. It's an energy thing. It's not about flesh. You probably gotta suffer your flesh, but if you're a higher energy white person, for example, you're not gonna be affected by the sun by like some other guys. I've seen a lot of white guys with real good tan, no homo. That's usually the strongest ones of them. Why is that? Like these strong ass white guys, they're gonna have a nice tan and a good power to them simply because they're massive. They got good energy to them. Like, because when you have more muscle to you, what does that cause? Your body's metabolism is gonna go faster. You burn more fat. You have more energy flux flowing through you. It's all energy, bro. And then honey, it's an insulator. That's why the Egyptian used it for embalming, and why it's so healthy for you. It helps insulate your body from viruses. And then it's all about frequency. See, when I turned blue, remember when I turned blue? Remember, this all happened on like about 3 seconds. This three thing. Yeah, I'm gonna get away from this thing real quick. Get to this instead. This is where they get the cubes in this hexagon thing. It's a circle as well, but it's a pyramid. But it's four of them, and then it's four within itself. It's crazy. It's endless like that, and that's just cells and stuff again. Uh, oh yeah, the frequency. It's all about frequency. Like, but before I shot up, like I said, it was all 3 seconds. After like 3 seconds, like I was about to shoot up, it all happened really fast. Like my eyes, they tilted, and I could feel them. They tilted like 90 degrees. This is 90-degree thing again, and there's four sets of 90 degrees into a circle. You know, and anyways, and then you get the two 180s, the two ones, and then the 8 is the infinity. That's really cool. And then the O's is infinity. But anyway, so like I said, I saw my body turn that energy thing. My eyes tilted 90 degrees on their axis. Like instead of being like how this is, they turned like imagine if the side on the left just went into the background and the one to the right came forward. So it kind of narrowed out instead of being wide like it is right now. Like that circle would be right there. And that's what it did. And then like I could feel it. And it's just like a bird basically. Like birds' eyes are like to the side. And literally I just shot up. And I didn't even think about trying to connect that to the birds that actually fly and all this stuff. And basically I saw these other guys when I was taking off, and they were like all around this fire. I didn't see them with my natural eyes, but once I shifted to blue, I could see them. And makes me think about what's all around us all the time, because I remember I did DMT one time, and I saw an angel, not an angel, but a fairy. The only time I ever saw a fairy. It was all I saw. Everything else looked normal. The fairy just came out of nowhere. I was over these woods. Probably it was good that I was there, so I could actually see some of these nature spirits with my own eyes. Because I probably would have been seeing with my normal eyes. But I had some DMT in me. Like, I didn't actually smoke it. I took some ayahuasca. I didn't take enough. I had a really strong mind, so it didn't affect me. I should have took twice the normal dosage. But I was scared. But I didn't know my mind was that strong. But it would have been really trippy, because when I saw that fairy, I was like, damn, I don't know if I want more of this. But that was all I really saw. And I just felt better after that, probably because of the energy and all that kind of stuff. But she was also blue, so she was probably a good energy or something. But anyways, so I saw those red guys, so it's a lower frequency. They were all around a fire, which now I understand now. They're around a fucking energy source. They were taking in the energy. Wow, bro. Trying to ascend to blue or something like that. The reason I was able to do it so easily is because, to me, my energy is cold. Like it's more like quantum power, more like scalar power. To me, it doesn't cause any Like I could literally be like totally disconnected to it, but it still operates. Like I could be like, that's why it never goes out. Like it literally just never goes out. Like it's the perfect day that never fades. It's the seventh day. It's the holy day. God was here for the 6 days. The 6 days are like 6,000 days. Just like it's been 6,000 years since he rested. What did Jesus call the other guys resting? He was dead. He didn't really die, but he was taking a rest. He was, you can't just be active all the time. You already know this. You got to take a rest. And now it seems like that rest and our activity is combined. That's the only way I'm going to put it. I don't want to give you too much away. Later on, I'm going to take something out of some animes and kind of like, because some of the animes already just tell you it's spot on. I was like, damn, they know. Like, I'll just say the berserk. Like, that's my life. That's my fucking life, unfortunately. And anybody that's a light, that's how it is. Everything else is dark. You like that bright, everything else is like dark. And this world's highly symbolic, even more probably symbolic than the dream world. At least your conscious is symbolic in the dream world. Here, it's like you ain't even conscious. It's that solidly symbolic. And that's why they're so impressive putting symbols everywhere. But bad ones, not good ones. Not, like the cross. That's why I'm saying this is all about the cross. That's why you don't like the cross. That's why people get protection from the cross. Because the energy it puts off. It's this fractal infinity energy. And this is why in the beginning of Genesis, you take the fractals of the numbers of it, not the fractals. This is all about fractals, but I could tell you so much, man. I just wish I had time to tell you. I'm going to try and get some of this done, though. But anyways, if you take the factors of the number of letters and the words there, if you looked up about this is a flat earth thing, you'll find it. Like this one guy that kind of like, I'm not even going to talk about him. He kind of flip-flopped later, but anyways, he came up with this idea. I didn't even know it. I was just learning about this stuff. Just witnessing about what I would see, just like they said about the repenter, aka the comforter. But yeah, basically, what did I see? Let's see what this guy. Oh, that was a tough. Yeah, I totally forgot what I was talking about, dude. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, I remember now. All right. I don't want to pause. I just like going natural, man. Sorry if it makes the video longer, but anyways, basically this guy, he came up with this thing, with the factors of the letters or whatever, and it basically comes up to pi, a circle, 360 or whatever, more or less or whatever. And yeah, this is crazy. It's a circle, and that's exactly what God said the earth was. And it's a division. There's a division between like the firmament, and that's basically heaven. And that's why they don't want us getting up there, and that's why there's a Stargate. And the comets they ascend, they keep going to the sun. They're getting in, they're going through. That's the only way I can put it. Like someone getting knocked down by the sun, blown down as untimely figs, like the one over by Russia. Got blown down by the sun. That's why they didn't see it coming. The sun was right in the way. It was coming down. I predicted that one, by the way, and all kinds of other stuff. I had over 1,000 predictions on my other page that came true, and I never got any popularity from it. I got some on this one, like, maybe a few hundred or something like that. It's all my events and my prophecy. I basically predicted all of those. Like, that's all I can say about it. And then some videos where I, like the volcano thing, I predicted some stuff in that, and I put it in the video just so you could see how the predictions work. But because basically like when I do the outpoint of spirit, it's this infinity power. It's also in John. You see how the circle is this infinity thing. You see the golden ratio, this infinity thing. Spiraling power. It's basically, how do I say, Okay, I'll just go to John. It's just infinite power. That's all I can say. It just grows infinite. It's the holy, 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 holy. It's dedicated. It's like 3 dimensions to it. So you got like the holy that's like infinite growth and infinite like it just keeps growing. It's got infinite growth potential. So, what would be the point if you can keep growing? There's no infinite potential. That's why it's done energetically instead of physically. Um, and then also, what is it? The next thing is infinite, like you can do anything basically, like infinite, things. And then the consistency of it is infinite. It never fades. That's why it's important that it's holy. You can't have that's why in the book of Enoch, or no, the second Ezra's, it talks about how like there's this parable where it talks about how there's the evil and the goods of the past, and it symbolized the evil as like these storms, and then the good as like these bright lights or something like positive, something like that. You know what I mean? And they kept doing that back and forth, and it was showing like that the play out of these eternal, the evil wasn't supposed to happen. Like it was, they wasn't supposed to do that shit. Like how they sinned and came down here, and they're obviously rebelling with all the knowledge they have about energy against God, and stealing the energy of His saints and trying to use it against them, and just trying to wear them down and waste their energy and keep them unaware of it. And the reason they target people is because they have that light. Everybody, most people that are gang stalked, that are really gang stalked, not just paranoid, are more than likely being gang stalked either because they know some, they're like they're not gonna, they're gonna either a threat to these guys in some way, or I think it's mostly because it's energy. I notice I get attacked. Well, once you're already against, you're a threat to them. Maybe if you're on the other side, they don't care so much. You got too much energy, but I think even then they fear it, because the main reason they fear your energy, and the main reason they fear anybody that has energy and automatically put them on this list. I know that's when it started for me. It was when I started to meditate and manifest reality. I became a threat for them in too many ways. Like they, and also my energy. Like I said, they're like a virus. They literally are like what lives in the cold areas, the stuff that's like unclean. That's why they can't handle the sun. The sun is a purifier. It boils them up if they're not pure. I'm not, like I said, anybody, God can purify anybody though. It's an energy thing. They're just gonna have to change your life. You have to eat better. You're gonna have to do certain things. You just gotta let me know if you want to know what it is. If specifically anything. Sex is important because when you, as a man especially, that's why God killed that one guy for spilling the seed in that one story to show how important it is. Basically, when you waste your seed one time, a big one, not like a little one where you're being controlled in a logical way, just going all out with it, over blowing your brain out, fuses out when you're doing it as well. And you can't even get it back up because you blew it so hard. That's a trick you should learn. Is that if you don't blow it too hard, you'll be able to keep going a lot more stimulated and get a lot more. I can get like 20 if I want, like, or more, like any day I want. Like, it's easy, dude. Because you don't blow it too hard, you just keep going. Like, it's like not even, it actually probably feels easier on the second one, but you can have more control or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's crazy. But that's not supposed to be wasted. That seed ain't supposed to be wasted. That's like a whole month's worth of nutrition down the drain. Like the best of your nutrition through that whole month. And that's why we got the sissy ass man generation now. It's so fucking effeminate. Because they're lacking the essence. Greater is he that is within thee than he that is in the world. You better let that sink in after what I just told you. Because those same fucking demons that those half man, half goat devils are those same fucking things I was telling you about that they call devils, satyrs, were worshipped, and they used to by these all these pagan shit, and they used to love fucking masturbating right into the water and all that kind of shit. It's just like into that weird shit, like it's just and then they would even eat the shit and all that kind. It's crazy, man. Like I understand your wife eat maybe, but like anybody else eating it, it's just disgusting. But anyway, this is all off track, but that's a huge part of it as well. Because as a man, if you let that store up in you, it'll change you huge. It's the ultimate power in any religion, for the most part, if you really know anything about religion. Anyway, so yeah, like I shot up. It's all about vibration, and then like I said, I turned blue, and I shot up, and it took only like 3 seconds, and I went like 3,000 feet up in the air. It was crazy, man. Like it was crazy as hell. I was really like wow, like where am I going? I guess I got to about the firmament or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. Everything was really far down there, and it looked flat to me. I didn't see no curvature when I was shooting up. It looked like I was just looking straight down, like an infinite plane, like, and then it ended once I got to spaceless timelessness. My energy was just absorbed to the void, basically, I would imagine. But I would imagine that like over there it is just crazy over on the other side. Like I don't even think it's like a void. I think it's just like different. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like it's different. It's timeless and spaceless now. Like because anything can change there. That's what I think is really the essence of it. Things can change here, but there it's already accelerated to the point where it's like it's different. It's timeless. So once that's things become like what they could be, their potential, their full potential, good or bad. So that's why it's very important not to have any kind of impurities in you. You have to be as perfect as possible, because little impurities will turn to huge things there. It's like having a nice fruit punch and you got a little piece of shit in it. You don't. I'm telling you, it's really like that. You gotta be really careful. Not purify yourself, but it's mostly energetic and morality type stuff. And karma. Karma is the ultimate power. Karma got me everything I've ever done. Karma is the power of God. It's how I done the infinity power. That's all I can say about it. That's the closest thing I can teach you about it. That's why doing good on the others always brings good on you. And what I have done is the reason why the sun of righteousness is here. That's one of the extra stars as well. I could show you some footage of it. I have to get off my old page. Just let me know if you want. And yeah, it burns up the wicked because it's energy. Just like a fever burns up the virus. This is an immune response. God knows exactly how this works. This has all already been done already. This has already been planned out. There's no failure possible. As long you see that light in the sky, they may be able to block us from seeing it. They may be able to do some stuff, make it look like this or whatever, but they ain't doing nothing to it. It's still there. And what's on the other side? They can't do nothing about it. Try and block us from it, though. And I know this. It's out of their control. And they don't want nobody to know about that or have contact with it. And they want only people to see the darkness, the spirits of darkness. So they think that's where the power's at. By putting them all over the TV and shit like that. It's really disgusting that people would even think for a second that that would be anywhere to go. That would be any kind of safe. I already know what the darkness wants. I already know how it works. The darkness is all it wants to do is go back to non-existence. It can't go back to non-existence though. It doesn't get that though. But that's all it knows is non-existence. That's its own purpose. It's chaos and non-existence. That's it. Those are the things that it is. It's all possibilities, good and bad. Chaos. That's a tree of good and evil. Why not just have good and perfect? Why no good and bad? Life and death. God is the God of the living, not the God of the dead and the living. God of the living. God of the life. The cross, the energy, the infinity. Thanos, you ain't got the infinity stones, buddy. You ain't got the philosopher's stone. I am the philosopher's stone. And so is every person that has that light within them that you try to bury. They're going to shine that light, though. I'm going to shut that light. That's why they said they're going to shine like the stars of heaven. And then they would do that. Because of the good karma from what those things that they describe, like bringing people to righteousness. It's bringing in the good health, good consciousness, good karma, good energy flux. Because whatever you put out, you're going to get it back. That's how it works. Because you ain't doing nothing but dealing with yourself. And you have to protect yourself. You have to avoid people that try to bring your energy down. You have to avoid those type of people. And keep your energy, get your energy strong. And when your energy's strong, then you can heal people. Just through your energy. It's called energy healing. It's not hard. And the reason it heals them is simply because all they have is an energy deficiency. That's why people can go from being kind of stressed out and aged, and then they get some alkaline foods, and then all of a sudden it says, according to studies, that they're younger looking. It's because you can recharge your battery. The problem is people are damaging their batteries by letting it die over and over again. And then trying to put a little bit in there and running it on real low. That's when you get problems out of a battery if you know anything about electricity and batteries and lifespans out of batteries. You don't dog your battery out like that. And that's why most people die on their job. That's the Hebrew word for persecuted. They play all these word games with you. They love to do that, the double meaning words. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's cool. Which is it? Can't be both. Biggie Smalls. They put in everything, dog. Tupac. There ain't no goddamn Tupac. There ain't no Tupac. I'm just playing. That motherfucker pulled the Hitler on us, man. That nigga Hitler wasn't dead, bro. He's probably the one going. His little Nazi regime probably behind all this shit, man. Well, a lot of this shit. Man, you wouldn't even believe me. Even the little swastika had the damn. That's why the swastika was like that. Had them 90-degree tilts in it and shit. They knew about it too. These guys are all about this. They knew who the Hebrew Israelites, according to what I heard, if that was a correct rumor. Well, I could tell this motherfucker was really whimsical. They was really into this occult knowledge. If you're not in the occult knowledge, you're not in the knowledge. Do you know what occult knowledge is? It's hidden knowledge. By today's standards, and by damn near most standards, occult knowledge is what you need, because they hide all fucking real knowledge. They hide it in plain sight sometimes in other ways, but it's still occult. It's hidden. It ain't given to you directly in the schools. They lie to you in the schools. You're stupid if you don't understand what the damn thing is. You're all called this, you damn dumbasses. Just get the knowledge and use it, man. Don't get abused. All energy, man. All fucking energy. That's why these masons are always, them types are always behind it because they don't want to build these houses and like, oh my, there's energy, isn't it? There's energy, I see it. Oh. And then the little sack potato asses don't even want to work out. But it's like, I don't know, it's so simple. So simple, man. That's why God would always take the strong guys. That's why Samson was so strong. That's why, like King David would always take the strong guys with him and all that kind of stuff in these stories. And the strong people got the highest energy power to them. It's just that simple. If this don't motivate your ass to get healthy, you're stupid. You just sit on your sack potato till the right day you turn to rotten fucking sack of nothing. I'm gonna continue doing my thing though, man. Fuck that. But yeah, it's all energy. Even like I said, I shot up in the heavens and all that stuff. But oh yeah, the frequency is really important. Like like the higher frequency someone is, like for example, then now, like you can look this up. Just it's on an atomic level. The cells become more dense, less openings because it's higher frequency, less openings. So that basically now the viruses can't penetrate into the gut. And then like liquor is low frequency for the most part, it slows everything down. That's why if you drink a lot of it, you can get real bad situations. Sometimes you can get it to leak into your brain and stuff like that. And radiation, all these kind of, you're not supposed to have certain things reach like inside. Like it's supposed to be separation. That's all I can say about it. That's pretty much it. So there you go. There's like a million things I can say about it. It's basically energy. They don't want to deal with the energy. This is why they don't want you having free energy devices. Because you have free energy devices everywhere, then, it's going to be a higher energy world. They would have, they need, that's why in Berserk, for example, he's always attacking the darkness. They don't like the light. That's why when they hit that Predator drone the other day in Chile, and then before them in China, where the Chileans learned that from, with the green laser pointers, all that energy, all that light was able to disable the drone. But anyways, like this energy buildup is causing the volcanic activity all on the Pacific Rim, which is causing a problem in California. Because it doesn't have to erupt, it can just like bubble and make things hotter. That's why it's already hot over there. You guys already know you got Yellowstone and all them other big ass volcanoes over there that you already know about. There's several more you don't know about that there. And then on top of that, China's trying to make it worse so they can land grab and take y'all houses and stuff without making it look like they're the bad guy. Because they already basically bought all that shit up because your government sold them out through the Clintons. And Trump, they don't like Trump because Trump talks straightforward, and they don't want that to happen. So, it exposes them, so they go against him. And, like, for example, they don't want them feminizing their men. Like, it says the CIA feminizing their men in Asia and stuff. They don't give a fuck about our men getting feminized in their movies and shit like that. You didn't know China owns Hollywood now? Oh, okay. Might want to figure that out. Well, that's really bad. The NSA is run by China too. China's basically the dragon. Like they're some of the Canaanites from what I can tell. And they're highly Mongolian, which Mongol has to do with the original tribes out of Africa that have straight hair. They like fathered all these Mongol tribes that are basically part animal. That's why a guy kind of calls them dogs and stuff. They're highly instinctually intelligent in a way like we're more like intentionally intelligent, and that's why they kind of make poke fun of us because we learn through experience and intention and experimentation, I guess you could say, or just knowledge. If we know the truth, we're very good with it. But them, it's more like instinctual. They have like gifts and stuff like that, and like they see us as a threat to them somehow wanting to take over our land. Like this is like why you got bow-legged people, like a lot of like bow-legged people in the Asian community and the African community and the white community. Not so much the certain kinds of white people, I guess you could say, and certain types of black people and certain types of brown people. You know, like, but the majority of whites, well, Asians and blacks and whites, I guess too. Yeah, they have it as well because they have no lips. They have these monkey features and stuff, and Mongol features and stuff. You know. But anyways, that's why they're highly dog lovers and all that stuff. You know, it's just how it is. They're trying to, like when they're in the caves, you know, like they kind of had to kill, steal, and destroy for everything they had. So it's like in them. That's their pack mentality. They go around hunting and killing, stealing, destroying for everything they get. It's just how they are. It's the way they know how to do things. And they don't know how, you know, around the equator where it's energy-bearing people and not parasite-bearing people live. I would put it this way. These people could literally have a brain parasite in their head that has them all doing this shit, like, more or less. That they're, like, highly susceptible to that, like, or some shit like that. You wouldn't even know. Like, it could be in the food or something. You never know. And they're, like, trying to bring this out of the people in general. Like, it's crazy, but I don't even want to get too much into that because I've already offended a million people. But like I said, like this is why you got people with these features that are like animalistic, like the Mongol thing. Like they got the no lips like the apes. The what is that? The ape things. The RH monkey, the rhesus monkey, basically. That thing has like red skin, like you can see right through his skin into his face. That's why guys say you should grow your beard. They can't grow a beard. Those monkeys don't have beard in their face. That's why Esau was hairy all over his body like a monkey, instead on his face. And instead, you know, Jacob was smooth on his body and probably could grow a good beard or something. You know, like it's all this kind of stuff that is very obvious once it's really easy. You see, this is energy. One, that's what God is telling you right here. This is like all about energy. That's life. You see, it's simple. It's about karma, I guess, but you know, it's kind of more complicated. Let's keep it simple. That it's basically life. It's energy. And what was the other thing? I mean, that's basically it, really. Oh yeah, this is animal thing. They don't want people to know about that. Plus, they don't seem to be able to handle the higher energy people. Like I said, they don't. This is why you got all this jealousy thing. This big jealousy of the people when they kept blowing up the black people's progress, like Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, like Black Wall Street. Basically, it was really terrible. And this other shit, like it was because the blacks had finally more money in them, and they couldn't handle that. You know, and it's just like destroyed it. And this happens to a lot of black champions and rappers and artists and stuff. And just not fair. Just not fair. Well, anyways, they did it to Jesus. They do it to anybody that's high energy. And that's why he said about John the Baptist before they killed him. He was like, you guys delighted in his energy for a while. But then, you know, they started to get too much, you know. They didn't want him getting too much energy. So, like, they basically took him down. Couldn't take him. Just like Jesus, they prefer darkness. That's what he said. They prefer darkness instead of the light. And, you know, they don't want to be cleaned up because they like working in eating the evil, and you can't have nothing to do with the light. It's gonna burn you if you got all these impurities in you. And it's kind of like electricity and water. If it hits water that has impurities in it, yeah, it conducts electricity. We all know that, right? Like salt water, right? But if it's pure distilled water, like the water in your cells, I'm just playing. But basically, like that's the cells. That's the water that your cells use. Then the electricity it wouldn't conduct. It wouldn't conduct to it. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but at least it wouldn't be burnt up by it. Is the point of what I'm trying to say. So maybe there's something to this purity thing, and I know it's just an energy thing as far as the sun and all that. But yeah, that's basically all that stuff. Yeah, but yeah, so like they don't want us to know about like how it's these biological differences and stuff, and why they're trying to block the sun and all this kind of stuff's going on. And why they don't want global warming. They're trying to take over the land. These guys are underworlders, man. Like, didn't I show you how much land is below us? Like right here, like I'm gonna have to show you a lot more to prove that, but you get the idea what the cross is now, what energy is about, why they give you the Christmas tree at this time of year. And then look what the snowflake. What is this snowflake? It's a fractal. It's a circle life as well. The branches is the menorah. You can even see the menorah on the branch and those instead of sticking out the snowflakes. Each one of those. And each menorah is the seventh. The main central stick is the perfect day that the 6,000 years branch out from, that they rest upon. They get their rest upon it because it's the one that has the real energy. It's just like a man is a woman's rest. It's because the man's the higher energy vessel. Women, that's why they can't lose weight as fast as a man, because a man's metabolism is faster. He can burn the fat faster. And so he's like she's the higher energy that gives to the woman, and that's literally why he gives his energy to the woman in the form of a seed, and she gives forth something in return, a child, and it's probably maybe even amplified. I'm pretty sure that was probably the whole point of it, and then he got a clone of himself. That's how the cycle works. It's just amazing, isn't it? It's just all energy. Everything. Food, everything about you. Vinegar. Hydrogen peroxide is like on the 80 scale of dielectric constant. You know how high that is? Extremely high. Hydrogen peroxide, one of the best cleansers of your body. You see? That's why they say all the guys that was around the Ark of the Covenant, they said it was a fire. It's feeling the energy from it. It's a fire, yes. That's why the Phoenix is a fire. Rebirth. That's why he'll destroy the world with fire. He'll purify the world with fire. Revealing the innermost workings there. That's why these people are going mad at the exposure to me. As the second Ezra said, I would be here the whole time. Not somewhere else. Here the whole time. And you look in Revelation, it says that, lo, a lamb on Mount Zion. Long before he rises in with the army. And he had 144,000 with him. And yeah, second Ezra, it collaborates. Yeah, he has some people with him that only they can understand him. The elect. You're hearing this and you can understand, good for you. Maybe you're one of them. I don't know. I hope you're helped. You can get your energy going. It'll help you hear me better. I've been there, done that so many times. I'm an old dog already, man. I'm not an old dog as far as energy, I'll tell you that. I'm just starting to bring it out again, so it might shake up things a little bit, but I just predicted that 7 point wherever the hell it was the other day. If you know my volcanic video, I told you what was gonna happen. But Man, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy how it's all like just energy. So that's basically why it works. It creates energy around you and these negative ions and stuff, and these creatures don't like that. You know, it's just they just can't handle it. It's just all I can say about it. What else can I show you? It's the two worlds. You can see the four pyramids right here. Well, oh yeah, the menorah. Let me talk about that some more. Um, but they're really one pyramid or two pyramids. You see how it's the four and the two? It depends how you look at it. This is how you work your left and your right brain at the same time. Where you've seen that thing where if you look at it, if your left brain only, you only see it in this one way, and if your right brain, you only see it another way. I put my brain to working together, the gamma brain waves. Um, but the problem with gamma brain waves is you're getting in the spirit realm then, and you can shape your reality and really shape it. That's what they're afraid of. But the problem is, it tends to become your whole life for like. So you got to be careful what you wish for. That's why they put that in the movies and stuff. And you know, you don't want to lose your soul, man. Like, so I'm lucky I was able to like kind of keep it towards God and somehow became God. And that's pretty much why they get like thrones like gods and stuff like that, because they become part of His light. And what do you argue when you're a part of His light? You are Him. So that's not why I say I'm Him. I'm literally like the Son of Man. Like, I'm totally special from y'all. No offense to y'all. There's no way in hell like anybody else is doing what I'm doing. I literally shake the heavens and the earth, dude. There's no comparison. Like, everything that's happened, this whole fucking revival, revelation, like all these events that have happened that led people to God, like, been triggered by me. All the signs in the heavens triggered by me. So I don't even want to even hear it, bro. You can give me one person that can shake the heavens on cue like I do, and the earth like I do. I'd like to see him. Maybe he's the other one. But I already know them both. It's a lot deeper, though. You wouldn't even believe me who the other guy is that's kind of involved. Because there's the prophet, who's the energy, and then there's the material guy, the king. You wouldn't even believe me who he is. I'll just tell you it's Trump. He was anointed. I saw it. But he's just Saul 2.0. Y'all didn't want me. Y'all didn't give a fuck about me. Everybody loves this guy, though. Waiting for their white knight. But you know, kings ain't exactly got much in common with the common man. But this guy, he's actually been moved by me to an extent that it's even made him kind of pretty decent. Even though you could tell his nature is not decent. He's super supremist, man. He is super supremist at nature. But also in nature, he's very fair. That's what I like about him. I don't really care what y'all say. Our economy has been great. We're not in another goddamn war. He bombed fucking drug labs. I could go on and on about shit you don't even know about this guy because you don't even know nothing. But it's okay. I don't give a fuck. He is racist. You'll see a video on my page about it. I already posted. I backed them racist covenant kids against the Native American and them black Hebrew guys, whatever. Anyways, that's it. Oh yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the menorah. Yeah. So like the 6 days or the 6,000 years, like I said, he worked through those 6,000 years to make the 6 days. Then he rested on the seventh one, and you know, then all the stuff started. Apparently, after all that, and it started this whole cycle of playing all that out. It's like a story, but in a slower fashion because it's not as high energy. It's just fucking energy. You see how that works? And, you know, it's really just that simple. That's why I can get a lot done in one day. That's why things that happen once in like 100 years happen all the time now because of me. Literally sped up time, and y'all can't even tell because you don't know what time is. You expecting the sun to fucking flop around quicker and quicker? Maybe it does. I've seen that it goes pretty fast in this other video, but it goes through two portals just like the Bible says. Those portals are somehow right next to each other now, and those scary as fuck. because I didn't know a flat Earth was in existence back then. So I thought we were gonna get fucked up by these things just going through these portals next and yeah, it's just so crazy because on that 9-degree tilt thing over at the end of the poles, South Pole, the crust. Yeah, it's just like, man, this is it. Oh, did I manifest this, or is this one of the stupid stars they made? I'm pretty sure it was mine, though. But anyways, what else to say? Oh, yeah, the menorah. So those 6 days rest on the 7th day. That's why it's holy. That's why he wants you to observe it holy. Like I told you, his eternal power, his fractal power. That's why whenever I do the outpouring of spirit, anytime I do it like on any specific day, like any real change, real dimensional like leap forward and how I do it and stuff, or any just specific days. I do it all the time now. So it's like, it's just going to be like damn near every day. But there are key days, key specific days. But it'll fractal through time. And that was happening before I even like done it so much that it was like every day. And it just kept happening like that from my other on my page or whatever. And basically that's why he has people observe days that he did something great. Like observing Exodus, observing, like any of those great holy great acts of power that he did. And because the power he uses is not like the power from this world. It's an eternal power when he uses his own power, his own hand to do it. That's why what Jesus did, it is done. It will last forever. The Satan was mad. He knew that's the truth. He knew that energy was not going anywhere. He knows how the power works. From the fucking Son of Man, the Son of God. That power never fades. He knew it was done. He knew it was just a matter of fucking time. So I would come. Because that was the whole point of Jesus coming, was to manifest me. That's alright, that's a whole nother story. I'll get into that later or whatever. But not just me though, but these other vessels and temples for God. But I'm basically the creator of the Porsche, but I can't run faster in my Porsche. That's why he says that God gave all the power to the Son. That's why I'm called the Son of Man. He's called the Son of God. That's why he said, when they lift you up, then they'll figure out we're one. Well, when you come, will you find any faith? Well, Jesus had plenty of faith. Plenty of people that believed in him. So what the hell are you talking about? Unless he's talking about somebody else. Obviously, he's talking about somebody else. I know this. I mean, it's obvious to me. That's why I said when I come, I witness of it. All this kind of stuff. Witness of what I see and stuff. He set everything in motion for me. Like, he gave me, like, all the clues I needed. And anybody should need, really. Anybody that's elected God is going to see this shit. I just so happen to be, like, the best of them. And that's why I get hammered. Fucking Terminator movie came out with me. Like, it was like a million Johns around me, that's all I'm going to say. A Mr. Connor. Like, Coleman. Like, that's all I'm going to say about it. It's so fucking crazy, dude. Like, that came out. There was Back to the Future thing with the 33-year reference with the Trump and all that kind of stuff. Like, Haley's Comet was there when Jesus was born, man. They recorded it being sighted right there in Chinese history. That's the real Star of Bethlehem. Comes by every 70 years, marking out lives, marking out 70 years, a generation, each cycle. It just came by recently. That's why I'm kind of getting woke. It's energized me. It's like my source and stuff. Like it's got to be related to me. And they saw all that stuff happening, and they saw Comet Ison and all that shit coming, Nibiru and all that, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, and I'm just, it's all attracting me to like it's a high energy event. That's what draws this stuff in and causes these events. That's why something big happens every time these combat stuff go by. It's an energy again. It's an energy. The power That's why in the Bible, it's in the New Testament, it says there will be a day when they will worship me with power. With power. With not just all this word shit, all this bullshit, but with power. With energy. With juice. This is crazy awesome. Anyway, so yes, it's that perfect day. And then like I said, he rested on that last day. That's why Jesus said, the Son of Man alone has been sealed to the end of the world. So who's Jesus then? If you guys think he's the Son of Man, he is though. He is me. He's just my spirit. He is me though. We're the same person. He's got all the power though. Because that's the way it works. How else was I going to do it? My physical body could not handle all that power. My spirit sure as hell can though. And they even put this in the Jedi movie. I was looking at it, like that's based around me and all this bullshit. I was mad when they had him kill Han Solo, man. That's my dad, man. I'm dead, dude. Nah, I was playing. I'm not gonna say nothing about it. My dad and me used to. My dad looked like Han Solo when we grew up. But he's a black guy, you know, he's not a white guy, but kind of looked like a black Han Solo. Like a mix between Morpheus and Han Solo. That's what my dad looks like, kind of. But if you see me, he looks like me more than anything. But he looks more like, he's got a distinct Lawrence Fisher look to him. But anyways, we move on. Like this is 6 days or whatever, 6,000 years, and the hell am I saying again? Oh yeah, Star Wars thing. Yeah, like this is why I was saying, like, if I was to die, like, or whatever, like, it would just like I told you, in the other realm there's no time. That's why they don't like us resting. Because, like, for example, Martin Luther King, he is a high energy person, more than likely. He was a man of God. He prepared the way. That was the prior two witnesses. I guess you could say him and JFK. Like me and Trump. Whole X-Men movie was based around them. And civil rights movement, all that kind of stuff. But he saw the promise land. He knew it was coming. He saw what was coming. He knew it was around the corner. But anyways, that's why they don't want people dreaming it. They always attack targeted individuals when they're sleeping. Because that's when you're building your energy more than anything. That's the more powerful place. This place, like, you ever seen the stories about I think it was like adopted into a movie or anime. I mean, like some kind of TV show or something, where they got these guys where I think it's actually the damn. It's like this fucking hero thing, but it's like kind of twisted. They just came out with a new TV series for it. I forget what it's called, but the Watchers or something like that. Yeah, the Watchers, some kind of Watchers, and they basically. The hell was it? Oh man, I totally forgot what I was thinking. Fuck it. Let's just get back to what I was talking about. It's kind of annoying. Shit, I could have remembered that. Alright, so what was I talking about before that? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Star Wars. But basically, Obi-Wan, there's no time over there, so everything just kind of like reaches full potential or whatever. So like, if I was to die or whatever, my power would basically just come out fully. And that's what the importance of Jesus was when he died. He's just like he said, like, unless like a piece of mustard, like a mustard plant die and germinate the ground, it's only going to be by itself. It's like at the end of that one game. What what's that joint called? Dark Souls, where at the end you basically, man, this video's so goddamn long. Basically, like you end up the only one that's cured, and everybody else still like dying away. And it's because of lack of energy and the battery source and all that kind of problem. That's what it was like for God. Like he was the only one who made it there, and through Jesus, he was able to share that with everybody. That was why Jesus had to die to become a part of even death. He had no part in death, so he had to like become a part of that to take them out of death. I would imagine, or something like that. I'm not 100% perfectly sure, but that's the only way it makes sense to me, and it makes a lot of sense. But I can't see if any can guarantee. Like it just makes sense because it's all about channeling. Channeling is all about dimensions, and dimensions are all about characteristics, and characteristics are all about names, and names are all about descriptions. It's all just dimensions, descriptions. Do you get it? Like when they describe a different universe, they're just describing it. It's flat. It's two-dimensional. Oh, it's a line. It's one-dimensional. They're describing it. Oh, this part of space is like this. Oh, this part of the planet is like this. It's descriptions. We have multiple different fields, different dimensions all over our planet. We got places like the Bermuda Triangle. You guys don't even know what's on the bottom of your ocean. You think you know something. Like, we, know shit much about the ocean. I don't even know much about it. I know there's all kinds of monsters shit down there. I believe that for certain. The sea is very terrifying. Because I know it's where the endlessness is. But, yeah, basically that's why, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi told him if they slash him down, they beat him down, he's going to come down 10 times, come back 10 times stronger, like 100 times stronger or something like that. Fuck him up. It's basically how it works, because in the other realm, you're not limited. Like I said, oh yeah. I remember now. In the Watchers, they got these guys that got no eyes and shit, no ears. And they got all that shit covered. Because like the enemy like will hack people like through all that shit. And I've been telling y'all the chemtrails do that. Like this nanotechnology is so small that even if you got to up your vibration, a normal person, they would maybe be able to get away with normal viruses because the size of the atoms of the viruses is no bigger than their atom. So it's harder to penetrate. But these nanotech viruses that they're creating through the chemtrails, through the Morgellons, through these things that get in people, the synthetic biology, this digital biology, that then gets in the person and grows these Morgellons, which are neural networks that turn the person into a fucking robot, controlling what they see and hear and all this, how they decode it, how they influencing that. It gets in their eyes too, and it can penetrate their eyes, and it's so small it can penetrate more easily than a virus, a normal virus. So this is why they don't like high frequency people, high energy people, because they have such a density to them that even this nano stuff probably can't even penetrate them. That's why they get targeted by the machine, these high energy people. I wouldn't even be surprised so bad as most of the population is under. Gone. The Walking Dead, as they call them. This husk, empty husk inside, for the most part. With just the most loose level of consciousness, just going about the robotictron, which robot means slave, the bottomized work that they do every day. And never thinking to go any higher or do anything, and just fanning it out on gladiator, blood, death shit that just spreads life to the demons, and their blood sacrifice shit, just wasting life energy that they're afraid of. It's crazy, man. Like, I don't even know how I got on that. But anyways, they would cover all that so that they couldn't get in. So like, yeah, like this is why in the Matrix movie they wear all this insulating clothing. It's to block out the weapons they're hitting them with, electromagnetic weapons. Like leather is a very good insulator. Latex is a very good insulator. Like that's what the Trinity wore. She wore latex or it's basically the same kind of thing. And let me see what else. The sunglasses block out their energy as well from making eye contact. A lot of these demons will attack you through your eyes, making eye contact. That's why you get like bad feelings for certain people, especially when you make eye contact, because the eyes are the soul of a person. Basically, it tells you everything about a person. The more vibrant their eyes are, the better. But you want it to have some melanin still. You don't want it to be just lacking melanin. You want like green or brown, like light brown eyes, something like that. Uh, Blue would probably work too, I guess. I don't know. I just know melanin is good for you. So it's like, that's a good thing. Because you don't want to lack it. It's like kind of important. Not going to get into all that though. But yeah, that's why they would do that. And like, that's just really crazy. Just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, getting back to Minora, like, yeah, he would blow him up or whatever. The power would just expand because, like I said, the way my power works, is constantly growing. So, like, that's the whole point of this. Like at the beginning of John, once again, all the words and the letters, once again, in the original wording, it's just amazing how it says my story of how it shined from the non-existence as the possibility of existence. That's the light of a certain man, and that light gave everything life, and so on and forth. It's basically how it works. People say, who created God? God created God. He came forth from the world of non-existence as the possibility of existence. That's how it works. It's like you have a program that's not existing, but then it makes something on the screen that exists. But they're in two different things. So maybe they exist in their realm, but there's no time limits there. It's already played out. Everything is already what it is. And the only change to me, because this world is just like it, really, in my mind, is people changing things. But does it have any permanence to it? It has permanence, then it appears in the other world as well. But if it's not permanent, it doesn't appear in the other world. You see what I mean? That's the way it works. Other people have a hard time explaining it, but for me, it's just really easy. I don't know why I explain it. Like, it's just really easy for me because I have very good experience with the other world. Like it's gonna be just getting better and better though, because I'm really just getting back on. I'm kind of like the guy in the new Shining movie, but he's the guy from the old Shining movie. That was like a little kid when that came out because it's probably based around me and I didn't even know it. Well, just like Terminator movies based around me, all these other crazy ass movies, The Matrix. Yeah, I'm a hacker. You should look at some of my games. Well, I hacked The Matrix. Like at first, actually, the way I learned it was I can't tell you too much about it, but I was hacking things and I realized I could hack real life too, using this little alternate form of hacking that I figured out. But it wasn't like hacking. It was actual power. I didn't know it. It wasn't hacking. It wasn't like putting numbers on anything. It was little power I put into something, into the game. And they even put this in anime. It's like how people can put their nin, as they call it, in Hunter x Hunter, into like things that if they're highly skilled at something, they'll put nin into it, which is like energy, basically. That's all it is. It's ore. This is amazing, isn't it? You're going to see this over and over again, these reoccurring patterns of these nature creatures or demons that can shape things around them, kind of like influence people that are weaker minded, that are not strong, like on an angel level, as they would call it, I guess. where they could like repel that kind of shit because they got so much light, making them look like an angel. Anybody that can see that kind of shit. Me, I put off light like shit, but I can't even see it. I don't even. But maybe it's like hidden. I don't know. The Shining guy, like when he showed his, like he kept his hidden through kind of what I've been doing too. That's all I'm gonna say about it too. Cause it's a pain, man. Like it's a pain seeing everything for what it really is, and you're 1,000 years ahead. Nobody's with you. You just gotta kind of like slow down for a second, sit back, and just be like, all right, fuck it. But really now, I realize that really I progress y'all. I already know this. Every time, I already know how to work it to progress y'all. Because as I progress, y'all progress with me, I've noticed. That's how powerful I am. Y'all might not notice your little progressions. Maybe I'm going to different worlds. Because based on what I know, maybe that's how it works. The never-ending story. You ever seen that? Check it out. There's a book and a movie. The book's even better. It's audio. You can do that too. Where basically once he makes his wishes and makes a change, it's just always been that way. That's what I mean by the permanence part. If it's permanent, then it ends up in that world. And like what I do, because of this type of power I got, when I really want it to happen and I make that wish, it happens permanent. And it shows up and they see the changes. And then things happen in the heavens. It shakes stuff. And stuff starts happening. It always fulfills biblical prophecy somehow. Somebody clearly knew what I was going to do before I even do it. And they're using my energy towards it, these processes. And it could only be Jesus Christ or some high-level entity shaping my power or something to fulfill Scripture. And I don't seem to care too much about it. As long as it's not too bad. Trying to keep it moderated, though. Well, yeah, this is a tremendously long video already. That's what the cross is about. That's why you see these symbols everywhere. It's just like everything. This is why they don't want you to know about the flat earth. They don't want you to know about the circle or anything like the pyramid energy, the Oregon energy that comes out of hills and pyramids and shit that breaks up this negative shit in the air with its positive energy. Breaks up the negative energy. It's just so fucking amazing, man. Like, I really wish y'all would believe me, man. It's so annoying that nobody's gonna believe me in this. Either that or y'all know and y'all just don't care, and it's just like all just a waste of my time. Just it's just amazing to me. But yeah, it's all about energy. That's what the cross is. And the menorah, like I said, has to do with the six days that rest on the seventh, and that's the perfect day. That's why he's the Alpha and Omega, and he walks in the midst of the seven spirits. So it went from the two cherubim, the two candlesticks, the two anointed ones, to the four cherubim now that are around the anointed one. And then it went to the seven spheres, which is the 4 plus the 3. It's just amazing, man. Like, it's amazing how it's always like playing out like that. Like he's just like, it's like, I don't know. And then when you close your eyes, you get those fractal like things. Like, that's all fractal. It's like fractals, man. But like I said, like that's why you'd have people look at the holy days every year, because there's good things that happen. That's why in the future now we have these moons, these holy, these feast days and all this stuff aligning up with the lunar eclipses and solar eclipses and stuff like that, because that's showing you the power of God echoing through time, man. That's how ridiculously powerful he is. Like, that's why you don't have him just act on little petty ass things, man. have his angels or something, like, you know what I mean, or man or something like that act on it. It's like two different levels of fucking action. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, like, he does something, it sticks. That's why he's like, man, I told you, your people are saved. You saved, motherfucker. You blessed forever. Or it's this forever, man. Like, you don't want to get on God's bad side, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, Let me see. So yeah, 6 days. Oh yeah, so this is 6,000 years later, and that's why I was born now. The beginning of this new age and all this stuff, and they're basically been watching for this, and now they're just trying to get the energy out of it. That's what they use this for. They think they're just going to use this as some fucking energy thing. We're just going to sit down and be mules and shit, not fucking like protect ourselves and take up arms and shit like that. You better protect yourself, motherfucker. Jesus said, and one of the only true witness, in my opinion, of him, the book of John, his favorite apostle. It didn't say this in the other books, only in his. They try to say, turn your ass the other cheek and get fed to a lion and tiger in the Coliseum. It didn't work out for too many people. But I'm sure God's gonna see that and appreciate them. But he basically said, "This is my people. They would have fought for me, but now my people ain't. This ain't my people. For now, this ain't my kingdom in this world." So, what do you tell you? There's more worlds. I'm telling you, I conquered a couple of them, at least a couple of them. I've set people free from this big ass robot in this one world. Just bash his ass in with the rod. Wasn't hard. It could have happened here, but people fucked up. Like I saved all those other places, just trying to save this one. Actually, it's pretty sad. But golly. But don't underestimate the darkness. It's very it's also unlimited and unlimitedly deadly if you allow it to be. You have to stay in the light. Darkness doesn't work in the light, not as well as it does in the darkness. For example, if you're somebody out there living by the sword, that part was probably accurate. You're gonna die by the sword more than likely. Out there just killing people for nothing, you're gonna die for nothing. It's karma. That's all that is. But anyway, so like I'm here, Nora. Yeah, that's also important to this Infinity Swirl thing. But that's basically what the cross is. All energy, man. I just told you it's all, like, I just showed you how the body is all about energy, your health's all about energy, like everything, like even diabetes is all about metabolism and glucose, sugar, energy. Glucose is it's important because it's one of the higher insulators as well. It's like 30 on there on dielectric constant. Well, I mean, this has gone on long enough. You should have the concept by now that it's all about energy. They're trying to keep us from doing our energy. They attack people because that energy destroys them. Because of the darkness, they can't handle the light, just like the viruses can't handle the light. So these viruses that are controlling these unclean people, the unclean spirits in them, are trying to get them to stop us. All these type of things. And then these other beings that are afraid of us getting our power up, they're afraid as well, so they're manipulating them as well. Like, you'll see that reoccurring, like I said, in these movies, like they're manipulating their minds. Like, you see it all in the witch stories and stuff where they manipulate people and then they get a new host and stuff and they possess them and stuff. Or they get their energy or something like that. You know, or they use them as a weapon against somebody that's a threat to them, that knows too much about them. It's really not complicated. You think about how stupid and super lacking belief in superstition people are nowadays. And it used to be like that. People used to believe in changelings, taking their kids and shit like that, and fawns and all that stuff, which is basically the satyr, that half man, half goat thing. That's why we need to pick Satan. He's got breasts like a woman, because like the hermaphrodite thing, the incest causes hermaphroditism, and that's why they like their high priest to be hermaphrodites. That goes back to Babylon. That's why they're going after Trump, because he didn't marry the whore, which is Hollywood, which is the media. He didn't go along with them. He didn't kiss their ass to politically correctness. He didn't marry the whore. That's what he was supposed to do after he defeated him by winning the election. However he did. I'm pretty sure he did it legitimately from what I saw. Hillary didn't have nobody showing up to her fucking rallies. He had record people at his rallies. But man, this is so much I can say about this shit, dude. Like, I really should like put down like notes for this so I can get like through this more efficiently. It's just ridiculous. All right, so let's see. Got the energy. What else important to talk about on here? Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't want to drag this on any longer. I'm in that here. Yeah, that's just in there here.